The young men of today are hopelessly addicted to dopamine. And one of the easiest ways where they can get this dopamine fix is through physical attraction. They'll spend countless hours fapping to messed up, hyper-stimulant videos on the hub. If you scroll through their Instagram feed, it's filled with nothing but models that they're physically attracted to, but will proceed to leave insanely hateful comments about. Even in their video games, they'll go out of their way to max out the female character's boob size, to give their caveman brain just another tiny hit of dopamine. So it's no wonder that this guy can't talk to women in real life. He doesn't see women as people, but just another object to beat off to. If you don't know who I am, my name is Greg, and my goal is to help out young men on their self-improvement journeys. Clearly that's something that you're interested in, so feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. I'd greatly appreciate it, and you would join a growing community of other young men on self-improvement. One of the most common problems amongst young men today is their complete inability to talk to, socialize, or understand women. And this inability to talk to literally half of the population leaves them missing out on social connections and possible relationships. And the hard part about this is that it leaves many young men frustrated, not really knowing what they're doing wrong, alongside other young men who are too scared to even try. It's what led younger me to be so resentful because I was just too scared and I didn't know what to do if I got rejected. And it led me, just like many other young men, to blame women for the problem. Women as a whole were responsible for the fact that I didn't really understand how to talk to them. If you have this kind of approach, I'm not necessarily blaming you, but I'm telling you this is the wrong way to look at it. And today I'm going to skip straight to the no-nonsense part about how I got better at talking to not only women, but talking to everyone. Now, right off the bat, I'm just going to go out and say that I don't claim to be some sort of crazy social guru or some expert conversationalist. I'm none of that. I'm none of the pickup artists you see on YouTube. What I will say is that I'm probably like a lot of the people watching that, spent their entire teenage years shut in playing video games. And if not doing that, the most social activity that they got was just talking to their other male friends. There were very few events throughout my time in middle school or high school where I would go out of my way to talk to a girl. And even less times that I would go out of my way to talk to a girl that I was attracted to. Because this is a guide for degenerates like you, and I consider myself a reformed degenerate, I would say that the first step is just seeing women as people. And you might be wondering, what am I talking about here? Yeah, they're other people. You don't see women as people. If you're addicted to fapping to hyper-stimulant videos and all your entire Instagram feed and all your social medias, all you're following are these models, and all you're watching on YouTube is just alpha male podcasts where they say, oh, women should be in their place. Bro, you don't see women as people, and that's the main reason why you can't talk to them. Because when you think of that girl in your class that you like, you don't see the human part of her. You don't see that she is a person with emotions. She has a story. She has family. She has friends that she loves. She has been sad before. She's been happy before. She's cried before. She has other people in her life. You don't see that human part of them. All you see is, girl, I'm attracted. What do I do? Oh no, I'm hard. That's all you see. So there's no wonder why you don't know how to talk to them. The only way for you to truly get rid of this messed up mindset is to stop consuming so much of that addictive hyper-stimulant media. All of those hyper-stimulant videos that you're watching, the fact that your entire Instagram is just full of Instagram models, the fact that you keep watching this alpha male guru pickup artist picks up 4 chicks in one night. The fact that you keep watching that stuff is the reason why you see women this way. They're not people to you. They're literally just another object for you to fap to. Now, real quick, I want you to think back to the last time you had a conversation with someone that you desperately wanted to get out of. The person would just go on and on and on about something you could not care less about. And you just wanted a car crash to happen on the next street for that person just look away and you could run. Well, that's what you sound like when you're talking to someone. You might not ramble on and on and on for ages because you have some level of social intelligence, or you're just too nervous to talk to people. But a main issue that I now look back and realize at why I was very bad at conversations is that All I did was talk about myself. Two of the most important books that I've encountered when it comes to learning how to talk to other people and have them actually like you is these two: The Charisma Myth and How to Win Friends and Influence People. And this one is an absolute classic. One of the main points that you can take away from this book without even reading them is that the best way to get people to like you is to make them feel special and talk about them. This might seem counterintuitive, but it doesn't matter how rich you are or how much money you have or how attractive you are. People might pretend to like you to take advantage of those things, but they won't genuinely like you or appreciate the conversations they have with you if you don't make them feel like a special person. This is important because keep in mind those conversations you have with people that go super boring and you don't care about. It's because that person is usually talking about something that interests them. So let's really think to how successful a conversation is going to be when, let's say, you actually approach the girl and she says, "Oh yeah, I'm into anime." And man, are you into anime too? So you just start unloading about how you watched this show and you watched that show and she should check out this show because you really love it. Bro, she does not care. Yes, you guys share an interest, but it doesn't matter how much you know about the topic. It's about how much you make her feel special about sharing that topic with you. This is something you really have to wrap your head around before you start going out of your way to unload on people when they mention a topic that you're knowledgeable about. And this is very common amongst guys who are loser, degenerate, shut-in guys who have crazy, expansive knowledge when it comes to video games or anime. One person mentions it and they'll just go off. And I was one of those people. So keep in mind, no matter what the situation is, people are always going to be somewhat selfish. They want themselves to feel somewhat intelligent. They want themselves to feel special when you're talking to them. Because if they can associate that time that they felt really happy talking to someone and that they can associate that feeling with you, all of a sudden that person likes you just because you made them feel like the smarter person. Isn't it crazy how that works? Now, I'm not telling you to be a kiss ass or anything, because people can see through when you're lying. This whole point of learning how to talk to women is about being genuine. You're being genuinely interested in what people are saying. You're being genuinely invested in what they're talking about. You're making eye contact with them when you're speaking with them. Obviously, you're not holding eye contact like this to the point where it's completely creepy and people want to look away from you. But you're holding strong eye contact with them and seeming genuinely invested in what they're talking about. It's interesting because to be good at talking to people, you don't actually have to talk that much. That's something that I learned on my own. By now you're probably thinking, eye contact, how do I even hold a conversation with someone without seeming weird or awkward? And the reason why you're thinking this is because we as young men who are addicted to technology, addicted to instant dopamine, we lack the confidence to go up and talk to a random person we don't know. This kind of brings me onto the usual saying that many people have. It's usually like incels that say this, like, "Oh, but if an attractive guy goes up and talks to a girl, he's considered confident. But if an ugly guy does it, he's considered arrogant. So how is it fair?" And I'm going to explain to you why this usually ends out this way. It's because fake confidence is always seen as arrogance. People can see right through fake confidence. There's no such thing as faking it till you make it. Especially if you're not experienced in social situations, people will see right through your fake confidence and call you arrogant because of the way you're carrying yourself. As a person who considered themselves not very social at all, I was a huge shut-in, a huge video game nerd who would not go out of my way to socialize at any point. I realized over time that confidence requires evidence. What I mean by this is that you have to provide your brain with evidence of you being good or improving at other things in order to become more confident in that thing. A good example is myself before I started working out. I lacked confidence in my body and my self-esteem in how I appeared was very low. I did not consider myself attractive in the slightest, and most people would agree because one, my body language in relation to how I felt about myself was always negative. So because I lacked the confidence, my body language was negative on top of me already not looking that great. So that's an easy way to appear unattractive entirely and unconfident. As I started working out more and more, and I started to see the progress, my confidence started to boost when it came to my body image, because I started to believe that I actually looked better, and I did. This led to a win-win effect where 1, I was becoming bigger and stronger and better looking, and 2, I was also more confident in my appearance because of that first part. Now my brain had evidence that I was good at working out and I was more attractive because I was working out. And this meant that whenever I was in the gym or finished a workout or while I'm working out, I was confident in the gym. And this confidence grew and grew over time to the point where now if I'm in the gym, let's say I'm in the gym locker room and I see a guy that's younger than me, maybe he's in high school and he just started working out a few months ago, I will go out of my way to say, bro, you're looking big, you're looking cut right now. And the fact that I had the confidence to say that to another guy and I see his face light up because, that wasn't expected, it's a win-win effect for everyone when you are more confident. Now, before I get too off track with this, you can directly relate this confidence requires evidence to when you're talking to a girl, because your first approach is going to be nerve-wracking. When you first decide to go out of your way to talk to someone that you like, it's going to be very difficult. You're going to be super nervous. No matter what the outcome is though, it's going to be positive because you had the courage to step up and do it. Let's say the first day you go up and talk to someone, no matter what the result was, if it was the outcome you wanted or not, and then you continue that habit of going up and talking to someone new every single day. If you can keep up with this habit, which I strongly encourage you to do, no matter if it doesn't even have to be someone you're attracted to. It can be a random person every day that you either just wave to, say hi, say good morning, introduce yourself to other people. If you can keep up with this, your brain now has evidence that you have the courage to go up and talk to new people. As a result of this evidence, you now have confidence when talking to new people, because now your brain has more evidence in favor of you being courageous enough to talk to people. This confidence requires evidence mindset is something that's going to affect pretty much anything you do in life. Anything challenging that you decide to do, as long as you can repetitively show your brain and show your mind that it's not actually that scary, and if it is scary, you still were able to go and do it, you now have more confidence in the fact that you can. Nobody is going to be an expert the first day that they do something. You're not going to have the full confidence that an expert does when you first try anything in life. If you go out there and at least show your brain that you have the courage to try it, you will become more confident as a result. And that confidence, as I told you, will compound and build up to the point where you're making other people more confident around you. There's essentially no downside to this other than the first step is kind of scary. And if that's what's holding you back, I have one more tip to share with you when it comes to approaching people. Give yourself 3 seconds. Let's say you're in school and you see that girl that you like. Give yourself 3 seconds to walk up to her. No plan at all in your head. If you start planning, you will fail. You just walk up to her and say hi. If you don't do that within the first 3 seconds of acknowledging that she's there, it's not worth it. From my own experience, after 3 seconds, you're going to start overthinking. You're going to start planning a script in your head. You're going to get incredibly nervous as to how she's going to react. And all of this is going to lead to, if you actually do decide to go up to her and talk to her, you're going to seem like a nervous wreck. It's going to seem forced, and it's overall not going to be a very positive experience for you. Or rather, the more common outcome is that you're going to overthink it way too much and not do it at all, and completely regret the fact that you chickened out of approaching. Keep in mind, bro, she can't hurt you. She can't physically hurt you. She's not going to beat you up for saying hi. Back to what I was saying at the beginning of this video, you have to see this as another person. I honestly think that one of the biggest mistakes that us guys who lack social skills make is that you think that every single person or every single girl that you like, that you're potentially going to talk to, you see it as a hookup opportunity. And that's not what it is at all. You have to remember that first part that I said in this video. There's another person. Not every person you're going to talk to is a hookup opportunity. Because when you put that much at stake mentally that, oh, if I mess this up, bro, I'm missing my hookup opportunity. Dog, it's not going to happen. The first step is to treat them like a person. As a matter of fact, you'll be way less nervous if you approach someone with the intention that you're probably not going to see them again. You approach them with the intention of just having a conversation or having a potential friendship with them. This might sound a little alien to you because if you're approaching a girl, why wouldn't you want to approach her with the intention of her being your girlfriend or hooking up with her? And the issue here is that not everyone's going to like you. Especially if you're watching this video, not everyone is going to like you, and you need to keep that in mind. When you approach with the intention of just having a conversation or having a friendship, it also catches the person you're talking to off guard. Because I want you to think about this. Close your eyes and think about this. If there's an attractive girl, right? Chances are 90% of the time guys are too scared to approach her. And the few guys that are brave enough to approach her are usually some real weirdo. I'm gonna tell you a quick story that my friend Chris and I encountered back when we were working a job a few months ago. We were walking down the street to our job, right? And it's honestly a pretty long walk, so we're walking for a little bit. Along the way, we see this girl ahead of us who's also walking, and then me and Chris are like, we're talking to each other like, yo, that's pretty, she's actually kind of fire, bro. Like, we're just chatting away. And then along comes this guy across the street. I think he was probably either drunk or homeless or something. And this guy goes up and catcalls her, calls her all types of names or whatever. And by now she looks really uncomfortable, starts speed walking, almost running away. You need to keep in mind that this is the level of guy that she's used to hearing from. Especially if she's an attractive girl, you need to keep in mind that this is the level of person that she's usually hearing from on the street. It's gonna be a breath of fresh air if one, just a normal guy, like a well-presented normal guy who's looking a little clean cut, smells good, is the one approaching her. And two, she's gonna be even more grateful that this normal, clean cut guy is talking to her with just the intention of friendship. Because now it's not just the random drunk guy catcalling her, asking her, oh, you should come back to my place. Now it's just a normal dude that she could possibly be into. And here's the secret part of it. If you approach with just the intention of friendship, it actually puts you at an advantage. Because now you don't have that much at stake. And if she's actually into you and likes you and is attracted to you, you'll be able to tell, and you can then escalate that friendship to whatever level you want to do. But I think that's more for another video, and when I personally become more experienced when it comes to talking to people. Now, if you made it all the way through this video, thank you, you're a real one, and I'm proud of you. I really want this video to reach an audience of guys who are like me when I was younger, really need to just start seeing women as people, who need to overcome that mental battle that they're facing that's ultimately gonna lead them to a lot of loneliness. Because at the end of the day, as long as you're treating women like they're other people, and as long as you're, just keeping it in your mind that, I want to talk to a random person today just to build up my conversation skills, just to build myself up, you will start building that confidence, and you're gonna see great rewards out of it. If you feel like you have a friend that could use this sort of advice, please feel free to share this video with them. And honestly, remember, I'm not even good at this stuff. I'm no PUA artist. I'm not one of those Miami YouTubers. We went to Miami Beach and we talked to all these. That's not me. So please just keep that in mind. This is for someone who's starting out at the most basic level. And remember, winners win, losers lose. Go be a winner today.